Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of our football betting series here on YouTube, UEFA edition. As you can see from our spreadsheet, we managed to pick up 3 wins from our 4 bets, and the Roma to qualify obviously rolls over to next week. Starting off with Man City, Bayern Munich. Man City managed to win by 3-0, so our £20 stake returned 14.40. Chelsea managed to, throw it away against Real Madrid. We picked up £16 in that one. And then in the Yukon, the Fiorentina managed to win by 4-1 against Lech Poznan, and we picked up £19.40. That means if we scroll up, our UEFA record in total is £234 profit and a 70% win rate. So we're going to hope to get a couple more predictions on the board today to increase that tally even more. If you think I'm talking some sense in today's video, please subscribe to the channel and drop a like down below. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Starting things off in the Champions League, we see Napoli play host to AC Milan. When we look at the first leg, AC Milan won by 1-0 due to Ismail Benasser's goal in the 40th minute. Looking at the stats, this game was well contested, with possession split evenly and both sides seeing over 10 shot attempts. However, something that both sides could improve on was their shot accuracy, and both sides also created 2 key chances. Additionally, we saw a feisty fixture with 9 cautions in this match. And as we go into the second leg, I want to keep an eye on cards here. When we look at Napoli, they've seen over 4.5 cards in 4 of their last 5 games. And as for the visitors, they've seen this number in 5 of their last 7 games. Additionally, when we look at the head-to-head record, 6 of the last 8 games have seen over 4.5 goals between these two sides. So I think cards are what are called for today. The sort of narrative to support that statement is that Napoli are fighting to remain in this competition. We'll definitely see a number of yellow cards fall their way, just because of the sheer desperation of the situation. Milan will be defending a narrow lead against one of the strongest sides in Europe this season. They're going to be forced into some tricky positions where fouls, which is going to be the only thing to stop the rising tempo that Napoli will bring to the game, and they're going to rack up cards in their own right. At the time of recording, the Betfair Sportsbook does not have the card market open yet, but I've seen other bookmakers have their over 4.5 goals line at around the 1 to 2 mark. So that's what we're going to pencil into our spreadsheet here. Over 4.5 cards, 1 to 2, full stake. Moving on to the Europa League now, we've got 2 selections, and one of them carries over from last week's episode. Roma are playing host to Feyenoord in the second leg, and we're still on for our prediction. So I'm going to be taking a bet here, not for the game, but for the tie as a whole. I do believe that Roma can qualify to the semi-final stage. A draw or narrow defeat in this first leg before a strong performance at home in the internal city. We're going to be taking Roma to qualify. When we look at the game stats, as predicted, we can see that Roma did give up possession away from home and should have really found the back of the net on a number of occasions, managing 17 shots but only converting 3 of these on target. There were some notable moments for the Italian side as Lorenzo Pellegrini missed his penalty from the spot just before the end of the first half, and another opportunity where the ball was cleared off the line to prevent an equaliser in the 63rd minute. There's also a big injury blow for Roma as Paulo Dybala came off after 20 minutes. After what looked like a groin strain, it's hard to say whether he'll be back for this second leg. Whilst he is a big loss for Mourinho, this tie is going according to the scripts that we created last week. And I do fancy Roma to turn things around and end up qualifying through to the semi-final stage. Our final prediction in today's episode stops off in the Europa League with Leverkusen hosting Union Saint-Gilloise, or USG. The first leg provided a little bit of a sucker punch for the Germans, with USG scoring after 51 minutes, courtesy of Boniface's strike. This appeared to motivate Leverkusen, as they did go on to dominate the second half on their way to equalise. The German side held 71% of the ball and outshot USG by 10-3. The issue really laid with shots on target, as Leverkusen only managed to convert 20% of their shots on target and 10 to a conversion rate. The lack of goals may have attributed to a lack of an out-and-out striker, with Florian Wirtz taking the number 9 spot. Maybe there was a hint of complacency coming into a game against a side which they should be beating comfortably at home. When we look at the away leg, there's little room for error, and Leverkusen will have to be on form from the off here. It is perhaps fortunate then that Leverkusen have a strong away record. Despite sitting number 6 in the Bundesliga, they have the 4th best overall record, with 20 points from a possible 39. Leverkusen are also unbeaten in each of their last 8 away matches and without a loss in their last 10 competitive games across the board. USG, on the other hand, are unbeaten in each of their last 8 games, and they are sitting comfortably on a 4-game winning streak in front of their home fans. For this reason, I'm going to respect USG and not take Leverkusen to win the match outright in 90 minutes, but rather to qualify from this tie for a full stake. So there we have it, 3 selections in today's episode. I was probably hoping for a few more, but considering the odds of some of the games and the game state for the legs, there just wasn't enough value in it for me. So going over old ground, we have Feyenoord and Roma. We're going to be taking Roma to qualify. Odds of 7/10 and a £20 stake to return, roughly 14. Let's pop that in there. The 2 fresh bets, starting in the Champions League, Napoli AC Milan, over 4.5 cards in this game seems pretty likely. When the odds release, they should be at about 1-2. If they're a little bit worse than that, we might step up to over 5.5 cards in this game, because I think we're going to see a few. However, at the time of recording, a £20 stake will return 10. And then our final match on the Thursday night, USG versus Leverkusen. We're going to be taking Leverkusen to qualify, not win the game outright, but to qualify, which includes obviously the extra time and penalties as well. Odds of 6/10, £20 stake to return, 11.60. Across our 3 selections, we're going to be risking up to £60 to hopefully pick up as much as £35.60. Will we do so? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to tune into next episode. But if you have made it to this point in the video, please drop a like down below and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content. And as always, have yourself a lovely day.